Hello, this is the Marvel Superheroes Corvus Glaive Thresher attack set, and the set itself may include some form of spoiler for the Avengers Infinity War movie, so you've been warned on that. Also, please be sure to check out the pinned comment before you comment yourself. The setting for this set is the wizarding world of Wakanda. This perimeter wall is supposed to be something rather long, and as a result, they have built it with the little suggestion that you get more than one of the set. You have a Technic pinhole on this side, and look at that, a Technic pinhole with a pin in it on the other side. So it just makes it a little bit easier to increase things, and they kind of suggest, they kind of push you to get more if you want to. Also, if you don't want it to look quite so just on its own, all by itself, you can turn this corner in to make it look like it has a little bit more depth. Kind of creates a little bit more of a enclosed interior space for it as well. This is a disc launcher, and there's just a thing you can push on the other side to make that fire off a disc. I will recover that disc later on, but I have a spare. It's just a plain sand blue one with no print or sticker on it. This is a target that can be hit by the Thresher. I'll show you the Thresher in a minute. But my favorite moving/action feature in this set is definitely the gate over here, because it just opens so simply with a push of a finger. Ta-da! Up it goes, down it goes. It just feels good. Feels right. Open and close. Up above, you got a little bit of a balcony there. You can just pose some figures along the edge here, and they have another row of studs or two behind to allow you to get a little bit of depth in there, but I prefer this tower, watchtower, sentry tower area, which has a couple of these rotating weapons up top. Each of those has a pair of stud shooters. They give you some extra trans purple colored studs as well to fire off. So a pair there, and I think it looks pretty respectable. This entire set does use stickers that have clear backs, so if you're not absolutely perfect in your application of those stickers, you will see dust showing through, or you will see bubbles and things showing through, so do try to be careful with that as much as is reasonably possible. A couple of these ring blade elements up here, and inside is a lab, or at least a piece of a lab. Got a couple of computer screens there. Looks like a little bit of an alert is showing up for a couple of incoming, or at least one incoming Outrider dropship. And then over here we're looking at one of the Infinity Stones, and specifically it's the one from Vision, Mind Stone in the MCU. Again, possible spoilers. There's something related to Vision being here in this lab in Wakanda, and something about the gem, and maybe trying to remove it from him and free him from it. Well, remember that target on the other side? You hit that and then he flips up. That's just that. If you put it on just barely, it's just barely sitting there, then he'll actually fly off. Also, the trigger mechanism for the disc shooter is this right here, so it's built into the chair. So you can just imagine that actually being activated by someone using this computer terminal. That's about it for the build here, though. Some places to put some figures, handful of things that move, one thing that can be turned around, and the ability to add multiple ones side by side, which I think would look good, especially if you were to mirror the build of a second one, or perhaps, half mirror it, so you have a little bit of gap here, then have another tower, and then kind of use the corner pieces to give a little bit more of an enclosure. That would be nice, but I think that this looks good for what it is. It's just, it's kind of on its own out in the middle of nowhere. On the right here we have a Thresher, and on the left a Thresher launcher. The Thresher itself has a pair of those 2x2 round plates in the relaunched dark turquoise or teal color. Nice to see those. I think they work pretty well there. And this is intended to be the launcher all either embedded in or camouflaged into the wooded areas, the wild areas outside the wall, and it has some nice pieces in it, some nice foliage pieces, a nice variety of different colors. They didn't just go with just the plain green on brown, with brown representing just dirt. I appreciate the differences there, even though this does have some super obvious Technic pieces there, and the go button, if you will, is overdone. I think that if you just ignore that part, you can of course leave this off if you want to. I think it looks pretty good for what it is, and it's very simple how it works. I mean, these two just fit together. It just kind of pushes right into place, kind of slots into the forks there, and that's just it. It's ready to go. You push down on this, and just the half of the projectile launcher will make this go rolling away, and off it goes. Corvus Glaive here is, in my opinion, one of the more interesting looking characters in Infinity War that's coming up, and I think this representation of him in Lego form is pretty respectable. It's difficult to make things look skinny in Lego with the standard minifig body and head shape, but I think they did well enough with this. I think the prints are pretty good. I like the tattered cape piece. I always like to see the gold in there. You got a couple different tones that kind of match together, that work together well with the, I believe that's medium nougat in there, or dark flesh against the gold. And there's also some print around the back. Now this is not a newer cloth piece, so you do need to remove this. It's a crinkly piece. So there you can see the back torso printing and his alternate face. I think I might like this face even better than this one. Yeah, definitely. As far as I can tell, this version of Black Panther is the exact same one included in the Royal Talon Fighter set for the Black Panther movie. Not seeing any variation or change. It's not necessarily a bad thing or anything, but if you're looking for a new version for Infinity War, looks like that might not happen, or at least we're not getting it in this set, that's for sure. Still has that little bit of subtle pattern that you have to have angled just right to the light to see it. It's black print on black plastic. It's on the front too. Here's Shuri, Black Panther's sister, and I had to look this up because I swore this figure was in another set, because it was first leaked with a pretty good quality photo of a final production version of this figure 3 months ago. So I was certain this had already been on the market, but it hasn't. This is the first release of this figure, first release of that pretty epic hair mold that is pretty well done, pretty accurate, I'd say. Would be nice to get just a little bit of fine printing in there, but I think that's a little bit too much to ask for something mass produced. They probably would have overdone it if they did put printing on it, but lots of really fine detailing for the braids in there, and nice reuse of the, were they first in Ultra Agents? I think those gauntlets were first used in Ultra Agents for one of the drill, was it Drill X, the character, I think, but good use of those. I mean, they're perfectly suited to this. The torso print looks good. Would have been nice to have some leg printing on more of these figures. Very few figures in this series have any leg print or hip print, but what prints we do get here look pretty good. I mean, you get that alternate face. Her face is somewhat generic, but I think it works well enough. This is the one Outrider included in this set, and I think it's okay to have just one in this set given how many other figures are included here, but I always prefer to see at least 2 of your most basic, throwaway grunt bad guy units to have more to beat up upon. As I mentioned in my last review that had one of these, I really like the prints for the torso and the head especially. This is probably inaccurate based on early artwork that Lego got, suggesting that these would have 6 arms. Looks like from the trailer they only have 4 arms. You can take the lower piece off if you want to make it more technically accurate. I guess that's okay. Too bad these back arms don't come forward further than that. But yeah, this is one way to do it. and I do like that backpack piece. Not a bad print on the back of the head. Great print on the back of the torso, though. Such a shame that they hide so many good, really highly detailed back torso prints on so many figures. Last but not least, here is Jarvisian. You can call him Vision if you want, but I'm calling him Jarvisian. It's the exact same figure as we got a couple years ago in the Civil War set, Tanker Truck Takedown, and that's a good thing because I think it's a great figure. This is very nicely done. I like the little dithering pattern. This is the corrected version that has the yellow color for the stone in the forehead. Got a little bit of iridescence, just a little bit of metallic sheen on the weave for his cape there. It's just a little bit translucent, which has kind of a nice effect. And this is the nice soft style, cloth style, so you can easily move it, doesn't crinkle up, and it has great print on the back of the torso as well. So yeah, if something is not broken, don't fix it. Not a bad set. I think the figures excite me the most out of everything here, which is a little bit of a shame given, how many pieces are here and how much you pay for the thing. This is well done for what it is. It's really tough. You got to feel for Lego designers and just how many restrictions they have. I'm sure that the designer of this set in particular, the set on the whole, the build for it, would love to have included a larger wall or more interior space for the lab, but it's just not possible within the constraints of the building styles and the price especially. The budget is the biggest issue there. So I think it's well done for what it is. The Thresher and launcher system works way better than I expected it to. I really thought that was going to be a little bit of a throwaway thing, or kind of just difficult to use, much too difficult to use, but it's not. It works really well. I don't like the big red button, but like I say, you can leave that off, or if you have just a couple extra pieces, change out the color or something. But surprisingly, I like the base here, I like the interior space that is available. There is enough room to pose some figures up on the top of the wall. I really like the ability to turn in the corner there. Everything's done just really as well as I reasonably could ask for. It's just not that exciting of a set on the whole to me personally. Just my thoughts though, and I hope I've shown you enough about this set to help you to form your own thoughts and make your own decision. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.